that streak Boomer spoke of, 5 straight 300-yard passing games. If he can do it again today in the rain at KC, he'll join Kurt Warner, and Steve Young is just the 3rd in league history with 6 straight 300-yard passing games. We welcome you back. The Raiders and Chiefs here on CBS. You know, Halloween isn't until Thursday, but the trick-or-treaters came just a little bit early to Dion's house this week. Didn't they, Dion?
Yes, they did. Jim, the doorbell hasn't stopped ringing at the Sanders crib. You would not believe how many NFL players came by expecting the same old candy. But I came up with some goodies that were more, shall we say, thought.
And the rivalry in the AFC West continues. Oakland and Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium sold out on a dark, gray, rainy, cold football afternoon. 40 degrees. Rain has been falling since this morning. Will it affect Dan Deerdorf, these 2 highest scoring teams in the NFL?
Well, that remains to be seen. We were concerned about a scoreboard meltdown. The field, they uncovered it about a half an hour ago. It's okay now, but I suspect it'll fall apart. Priest Holmes for the Kansas City Chiefs. He'll be one of the early guys to test this field. Led the league in rushing last year, leads the league now in scoring touchdowns.
And Rich Gannon, who played here in Kansas City for 4 years, he's on a string of 5 consecutive 300-yard passing games. Oh my, the kickoff coming up. It's an intense rivalry that dates back to the old AFL. Each team has won 42 games, and Jerry Rice goes for his 200th career touchdown this afternoon and with Kansas City. When these 2 teams meet, even the puppets are in a fighting mood. Well, let's check on the condition of the field as we look at these AFC Western standings. San Diego off to a 6-1 start. Denver, then Oakland. Oakland's lost 2 in a row. Kansas City trying to get back in the hunt. How is that field, Bonnie Bernstein?
Well, Dick, it looks okay because the tarp's been on it most of the week, but keep an eye on players like Oakland running back Charlie Gardner, Chiefs kicker Morton Anderson, both of whom are having some nagging hamstring injury problems, although they both told me they're feeling well. As for the Raiders, they say the rain will not affect their game plan. Point being, our receivers know where they're going on a slick field. Their defense doesn't. As for the Chiefs, more than happy, obviously, to hand the ball off to Priest Holmes, but the Chiefs have been known to try to run some no-huddle early to try to get a jump start. With the rain, they may have to abandon that, Dick.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. And you can see the center of the field is chewed up. Look at that. How close can you get? 42 wins each and a couple of ties, although the Raiders have won the last 5 meetings, including 3 in the last seconds on field goals here at Arrowhead. And it will be the white jerseyed Raiders who will get the ball first with Marcus Knight and Alvis Whitted deep. Mike Husted, who has been signed by Kansas City just to kick off until regular kicker Morton Anderson gets that hamstring at 100%. Anderson still will kick field goals.
And the Raiders really tested at the return position, Dick, because they lost Terry Kirby last week, their primary kickoff returner with a broken leg, and they lost Philip Buchanan, their primary punt returner, with a broken wrist. So both punt returns and kickoff returns for the Raiders now move into uncharted territories.
William Barty has to come up to keep the ball on the tee. There are gusts of wind up to 15 to 20 miles an hour out of the northeast. And we are now set to go in a noisy outdoor arena. Arrowhead Stadium is rocking. And Husted kicks this one to the goal line. And Marcus Knight, wide receiver from Michigan, takes it to the 15, the 20, and then runs into his own blockers at the 25-yard line. Rich Gannon returns to Kansas City. He played here 4 years. He's got a bunch of beef in front of him. Every man over 300 pounds, and they're blocking for him and for Charlie Garner.
My keys to the game would have to be us handling the blitz and the different looks they give us up front. And secondly, it would have to be Rich handling the poise and the noise and putting us in the proper position to go out and execute our plays.
A little poetry. The poise and the noise is the call by the Raiders, with this Arrowhead Stadium making it very difficult to hear the signals. Gannon comes out, with a quick throw to Tim Brown, and Brown picking up steam and a first down out to the 40-yard line before he's bumped out of bounds by Greg Wesley, who returns to the Kansas City defense after missing 2 games. And here they are, the starters on defense, with Eric Hicks leading the way with 5 sacks. Linebacking, Mike Maslowski, the team leader in tackles with 68. And Greg Wesley returns. He has 4 interceptions, missed the games at San Diego and home versus Denver last week. He's a hard-hitting safety, and that's going to make that porous defense of Kansas City a little tougher to invade, as Gannon has a wide-open Brown on the near sidelines and 2 passes to Tim Brown, and Oakland has a first down and another 9 yards on that pickup.
Well, I think Dick Vermeil said it very well against Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. What we have to do, we must tackle. They don't challenge you with long balls. With the Raiders, it's all about yards after the catch. Both Brown and Rice adept at making the first guy miss and then picking up valuable yardage. And Dick Vermeil knows if his team does not tackle well, they're the last rated defense in the league. It'll even be worse against this talented Raiders bunch today.
Gannon has 3 wide receivers to the right. And he looks underneath again to Brown. 3 for 3 and into Kansas City territory. A first down at the 45. Veteran Ray Crockett bumped him out of bounds. Brown with 148 straight games now with at least 2 catches.
Well, Tim Brown came into this game with 10 fewer receptions than Jerry Rice. And a lot of people talking about, geez, Tim Brown isn't the go-to guy anymore. Well, the Raiders, Dick, doing their best to try to get those numbers back even here early on in this game.
And part of the reason why he hasn't been getting his share of Brown is because Jerry Porter, the 3rd wide receiver, has 24 catches as he has emerged as a threat. Underneath, and this is the tight end, Roland Williams, and the ex-Ram is bumped out of bounds just inside the 40 after a gain of 5. Shenard Hart's first-year defender from Boise State with a hit.
Well, the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs is Greg Robinson. Remember him, 6 years in Denver. This is his 2nd year in Kansas City. And anytime your unit is ranked dead last in the National Football League, you're going to take a lot of fire and heat. That's what's happening to Greg here in Kansas City. But Dick Vermeil staunchly supports his defensive coordinator.
Deflecting the blame back on the offense. He said the better have to get better, and then we'll work on the team, the side of the ball that needs some help. Charlie Garner's first carry is good enough for a first down inside the 35-yard line.
Well, the big killer for the Chiefs has been their pass defense, and look what opposing quarterbacks have done to them this year. Those are staggering numbers. It works out to an average of 322 yards a game. Quarterbacks love playing against the red and white of Kansas City so far in 2002.
Raiders very solidly moving the ball downfield on this opening sequence. Gannon changing his play. Looks in the flat. Oh, day to throw, and then goes to Garner. Garner, couple of nice moves inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, and a gain of 6 more before Eric Warfield can make the tackle.
There's no question that in a sloppy field, it's harder to rush the passer. It's easy to get locked up as a defensive lineman, and that's exactly what happened here. The Raiders and their offensive line just stuffed the Chiefs. That, you know, Gannon ends up on the ground, but it's not until he held onto the ball for 6 or 7 seconds. And that's good work up front. Richie Owens trying to work against Frank Middleton. Excellent by the Raiders offensive line.
Owens finally got to Gannon, but not until he had 5 seconds to find an opening man. Garner twists away from a tackle and moves to the 26-yard line before Ray Crockett can submarine on the stop. It'll bring up a 3rd down and a long 1. The Raiders have had trouble scoring in the first half. The last 2 games, only 3 points.
I initially thought this was going to go downfield, Dick, because that's a backwards pass. Charlie Garner could have pulled that ball down and thrown it downfield. That was a good 2 yards behind the quarterback, Rich Gannon. If they keep that kind of formation up and that kind of throw during this game, I'll bet you at some point in time, Garner's going to launch it.
Triple left formation. The tight end Jolly moves way out. 3rd and 2. And then they throw underneath, incomplete to Madre Hill, who makes his first appearance with the Raiders this year. Just signed off the practice squad. a Cleveland late draft back in '99. He's there because Tyrone Wheatley is out, Randy Jordan is out, Terry Kirby is out. As Rich Gannon put it, our running back situation is dire. Sebastian Janikowski will try a 44-yard field goal. He's missed his last 3, and his misses last week cost a possible win against San Diego. And this one is blocked. A free ball, and unfortunately for the Chiefs, they can't come up with it cleanly, but Hartz does, and he's on his feet to the 37. Oh my, and that was one of the concerns of Bill Callahan. With all the injuries, would his special teams break down?
Well, if a football was round, that would have been a Kansas City touchdown because the ball would have bounced straight up. But it's pointed on both ends, and it's tough to get your hand on it. Let's take a look at where the block comes. It's right in the middle of the line, and Eric Warfield tries and tries and tries, and he can't hold on to the football. You could see the block was right in the middle of the line. It looked like the ball was driven kind of low. There's not much in the way of penetration. That's on Janikowski. That ball was kicked way too low. And a big break early for the Chiefs.
They take over at the 37 on their first possession. Trent Green, the quarterback, and Priest Holmes didn't take him long to lug the ball. He's down to the 35-yard line and a gain of 2. Trent Green having a solid season, 15 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, and here's his game plan today.
My key to the game is we need to get started fast. We need to get the crowd into it. We can't have early turnovers, and we need to get the ball moving early. And in order to do that, we need to get Priest Holmes involved early as well. We need to get him running the ball, and I think that'll open up the passing game.
Wow, it's almost as if he did that after the early going here. They do get a turnover, and they do start in good field position, and Priest Holmes already has a carry. Green scrambles, slides, first down at the 26. The Raiders defensively not as strong as they are on the offensive side of the ball, but certainly one of the better teams in the league. DeLawrence Grant, he'll be asked to do more because Sam Adams, a late scratch today, the big defensive lineman who stuffs the run, and Bill Romanowski, always tough. 231st consecutive game, and of course Rod Woodson, he leads the world in interception yards return. On first down, Green. Incomplete through the hands of Tony Richardson, his fullback. Bill Romanowski covering the fullback out of the backfield.
The crowd moaning, thinking Romanowski interfered with Tony Richardson. This crowd would boo Bill Romanowski just breathing. They don't like him whatsoever, and you see that Romanowski was trailing the play and reached out and grabbed the left arm of Tony Richardson and kept him from corralling the football. That could have been called. But Romanowski plays on the edge. He has his entire career. That's why he's been to a lot of Pro Bowls.
5 defensive backs on 2nd and 10, and that's Bo Richter in motion. And then the handoff inside to Holmes, picking his way. And down at the 18-yard line, and a good tackle by Clarence Love. Here's one of those defensive backs forced into duty with the injuries to Woodson and Buchanan.
This is some super ball handling by Trent Green. This looks like a pass all the way, and then the delayed draw handoff to Green. And at this point here, I thought Holmes had the corner, but Clarence Love, boy, that is an excellent job by Love keeping the Chiefs from getting a big play. Looked initially with that fake that Priest Holmes was going to get around the corner, but Love had a burst to his legs and brought him down.
So 3rd and 2 inside the 20. Green underneath, complete, first down. Eddie Kennison with a catch. Kennison came in with 19 on the season. Eric Barton, the defender.
Well, so far in this game, aren't we seeing exactly what we thought? Both of these offenses moving up and down the field with relative ease against these two defensive units. These two offenses, the Chiefs and the Raiders, gobble up yardage, score points, and the way this game has started is pretty much true to form.
Green, who played his college ball at Indiana, tough in that red zone, handoff inside, and they were waiting for Priest Holmes there, and Tony Bryant down low to make the initial hit.
Let's go ahead and look at the numbers of these two teams and take a look at their NFL rankings. On offense, they're first and second. And then on defense, you can see when it comes to passing and to the total part of it here, the Chiefs rank dead last in the NFL. So if there's one unit that might be the wild card here, it would be the Raiders defense that maybe has a chance to slow down the Chiefs enough to bring in a Raider win. That's certainly what they're counting on.
They send Priest Holmes out to the left. Empty backfield throw underneath. Incomplete. Trying to hit the tight end, Tony Gonzalez, and Trace Armstrong was applying early pressure on Green. Gonzalez already to 3 Pro Bowls.
Coming clean off the edge, forces Trent Green to throw the football, bouncing backwards off of his left foot, and it was kind of, I think it was a little low and away. Tony Gonzalez normally catches that, but that ball wasn't where Trent Green wanted to deliver it.
And Rod Woodson, the veteran, all over him. 23 touchdowns in the red zone for the Chiefs, most in the league. But they look at 3rd and long here, 9 for the first down. Underneath, complete. And Eddie Kennison is inside the 5, and that's going to be close to a first down. Romanowski made the tackle, and it appears he has the first down.
I think you're right, Dick, where they're going to spot his forward progress does indeed give the Kansas City Chiefs a first down. Just a little possession crossing sit-down route by Eddie Kennison. The key is that after the catch, Romanowski was so far from him that he was able to pick up 5 yards. And nobody close to Trent Green. He had Kennison lined up all the way, and the Chiefs the first and goal.
Just inside the 4. And on first and goal, they're perfect. 6 for 6 on the season. This is why Priest Holmes to the goal line as a flag flies. He's in the end zone, but will it count? Ron Winter is our referee, and we have a chop block called against Kansas City that will deny what appeared to be a touchdown by Holmes. Would have been his 15th of this season. And just looking at should Holmes score today, it would be 15. Jim Brown in 1958 scored 15 touchdowns in 7 games.
Personal foul, crackback block, number 85 offense, 15-yard penalty.
That's a big one. Bo Richter.
Well, yes, you could call this a big penalty, seeing it takes a touchdown off the board. Oh, I don't know about that. He looked like he had the head in front. That looked like a legitimate block to me at the line of scrimmage.
You have to be blindside him.
No, you have to be lined up outside somebody and come back in and crack them from behind below the waist. Well, obviously you can't block anybody from behind, even if it's above the waist.
So Priest Holmes has to reverse his field, and there's nothing there except white jerseys. And Napoleon Harris, the rookie middle linebacker from Northwestern, secured the tackle after John Perella shut the door.
Well, the Chiefs have gone from putting the ball in the end zone to now they've got to worry about whether or not they're going to remain in field goal range for Morton Anderson because of the penalty called against Bo Richter. They are in a between penalties and then that loss of yardage there, the Chiefs are in a retreat.
Reset from the right.
2nd and goal from the 23. Underneath Holmes, and well read by Eric Barton, the linebacker, and they're certainly zeroing in on 31. They respect not only his running talent, but the fact that Holmes leads Kansas City in catches with 45.
He is leading in both rushing. He's 2nd in the league in rushing the football, and at 45 receptions coming into today's game. Priest Holmes leading this club. He does everything but drive the bus to the games and mow the lawn after practice. This guy is doing everything for this Chiefs franchise.
Sharping young guy. Dante Hall lines up in the backfield. Then it's Johnny Morton in motion. 3rd and goal. And eating the ball, and the sack comes from Ron Coleman, who is playing because Sam Adams with a late injury did not suit up today, and Coleman has his second sack of the season. There's Big Sam. They miss his 330 pounds on the run.
And that was a monstrous loss of yardage as far as an attempted field goal. Trent pulling the football down. He had really nowhere to go with it, and rather than try to be foolish with it, but boy, he's made it a lot harder on Morton Anderson.
And on a wet field and a soft center of this Arrowhead Stadium field, a 46-yard attempt by Anderson, who is suffering from a nagging hamstring. It's on its way. Is it long enough? Yes. Unbelievable. The 42-year-old Anderson continues his incredible kicking. 480th field goal in his career, most in the history of the NFL. Kansas City with the early lead. So the Chiefs, after the blocked field goal, get the field goal of their own for a 3-0 lead, although denied a touchdown on a curious penalty.
A bad call.
Elvis Whitted of Oakland takes Hiersted's kickoff and takes it out across the 26-yard line, where William Bartia, starting cornerback on special teams, makes the tackle, and we have a timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Toyota. Get the feeling. Open, the small business network from American Express. New tools for a small business economy. And by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service.
Kansas City leading 3-0 early. 4:36 left in the opening quarter. Raiders at the 27. That's Jerry Porter in motion. Fake toss, throw the other way, incomplete to the tight end Roland Williams. Mike Maslowski on the coverage. Let's go back to that penalty, Dan.
Yeah, it's a 3-0 Kansas City lead. It should be 7. Here's Mark Boerichter right here working against Terrence Shaw. You cannot call a crack. First of all, the head's in front. And secondly, you can't crack back on someone who's lined up directly across from you. That is a perfectly legal and excellent block by Mark Boerichter that ended up costing the Chiefs the touchdown.
Gannon on second down, throws deep to Brown, and he's wide open, and a first down into Kansas City territory at the 48-yard line as he beat Eric Warfield.
Eric Warfield slipped and fell at the last moment, but I think it's a completed pass whether Warfield slips or not. Warfield is playing a zone here to the left. He's going to come off his man, and as he attempts to go, he just trips and stumbles to the ground. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure the field caused that. It looked like he just stumbled and tripped over his own feet.
But what a beautifully thrown ball by Gannon. 25 yards. And the Raiders are back in Kansas City territory. The handoff inside to Garner. And Garner plows his way to the 40-yard line. A good gain on first down. Bonnie, what do you have for us?
Well, Dick, audibles are a big part of the Raiders offense. So obviously they practice in crowd noise for loud places like Arrowhead. But Rich Gannon said even more importantly during the game, he previews calls in the huddle. He'll say, I tell him about a play, but I say heads up for this. So if you see him changing plays at the line with hand signals, chances are his teammates are kind of expecting it.
Poise with noise is the theme for Oakland. And there's a handoff to Jerry Rice. And Rice has a first down and more. Finally out of bounds at the 27-yard line of the Chiefs. Shenard Hart's there to deny Rice even a longer gain.
And big Frank Middleton pulls out of the middle line. There he goes, number 73. See him there off to the left, and he's going to get a crunching block downfield. Oh, you can see he just plants Eric Warfield, and that gives Jerry Rice about another 10 yards. Watch on the left. There's Middleton, number 73. Watch his block. Oh. See Eric.
Unfair.
Yes. Well done by Jerry Rice, staying behind the big guy. He's only 330. I'm sure Warfield was thrilled to see him coming.
Warfield 200 at best. Quick toss to Brown, and Brown moves inside the 20-yard line. Another gain on first down of 8 yards. William Barty with the tackle, and the Raiders, just as they did last week in the first quarter against San Diego, moving easily downfield, but so far no points.
What a wonderful way to play offense when you start cranking out 8 yards on first down. An offensive coordinator's dream is to be looking at a plethora of 2nd and 2s. It sure does make life a lot easier.
And Gannon already 7 for 9, 74 yards. 5 of the catches to Brown. The big hole for Charlie Garner. And Garner's down to the 11-yard line before Hartz can make the stop. First down for the Raiders.
Nothing like a bruising defensive battle. The Raiders chewing up huge chunks of yardage as Charlie Garner goes back to the weak side, and the Chiefs guilty of over pursuing. You see the red shirts running out of control to their left. Garner comes all the way back, and Charlie Garner, he is one of the handful of most explosive backs in the NFL.
Back to Garner, skips. And for the Chiefs, that's a moral victory. They held him to 3 yards. Myslowski spearheaded the attack. This defensive Kansas City allowing 441 yards a game and playing up to that in the first quarter. In this weekly NFL.com column, Boomer Esiason will discuss the importance of how a head coach reacts to his team's performance, especially in those dips. Read more about it. NFL.com or on America Online. Enter keyword NFL.com. This drive, 7 plays for 66 yards and down to the 7-yard line. Gannon with Rice working the middle of the field. Throws, knocked down. Marcus Patton was able to slide in front of the intended receiver, Tim Brown.
Who every second that Rich Gannon stood in that pocket, you're thinking touchdown, because he has no pressure at all. And Marcus Patton with the ability to leap up. He didn't save a touchdown because I think the coverage was awfully good back in the end zone, but no pressure at all on Rich Gannon.
Last week against San Diego, the Raiders were only 1 for 7 on third down conversions, and here's a big one at 3rd and 6. Brown in motion. Throw into the flat, complete to Garner, and Garner to the 5-yard line, and a flag goes down as the tackle is made. That would have been short of the first down. But
Glenn Kadrez, Dick, I think is guilty of the hit out of bounds.
That flag, an ominous sight for Chiefs fans. Yep, personal foul.
Boy, you force the Raiders into bringing Janikowski out onto the field and kick a field goal, and now it's a 1st and goal.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 59, defense. Contact with the runner out of bounds. Penalize half the distance and an automatic first down.
I can't conceive of what Kadrez was thinking. Charlie Garner was 3 yards out of bounds. The play is over. In the back, out of bounds. The play way over. That's not smart football.
Garner, fortunately, is okay in this diminished running back situation. 1st and goal at the 2, and Zach Crockett. And he's their short yardage and goal line fullback. Crockett from Florida State, who has carried only 5 times this year for 7 yards and has a touchdown.
And this is where the Raiders sorely missed Tyrone Wheatley, because they kind of had the thunder and lightning thing going on with Wheatley, the big back at about 240, and then Charlie Garner, the more elusive, quick guy at 190. But the continuing hamstring problem for Bill Callahan's team keeps Tyrone Wheatley on the sideline at least 1 week longer.
Fake, and the throw, complete, touchdown, Doug Jolly. The rookie tight end from BYU has his first NFL touchdown.
Well, what a wonderful moment that is for a kid. 2nd-round draft choice of the Raiders, Jolly, and he gets his first trip into the end zone in the NFL.
Jolly for Jolly here in Kansas City.
The young guys, by the way, always play with bare arms. You notice that, Dick? The old guys got the long underwear. The rookies they feel no cold.
Janikowski's point try is good. And the Oakland Raiders, a 73-yard drive in 11 plays, 1-yard payoff. Gannon to the rookie tight end, Doug Jolly, and a 7-3 lead. Well, Doug Jolly, he saw his dad play in the NFL. Gordon Jolly, 7 years with the Lions and the Seahawks, and now he can take home that prized first NFL touchdown catch.
I'll guarantee you, when he's in this league for 8 or 9 years, he'll be wearing long sleeves.
Janikowski leads the league in touchbacks with 14. Dante Hall will bring it out. And did he ever? All the way to the 37-yard line. It's a 7-3 Oakland lead. Just seconds left in this opening quarter at Arrowhead in Kansas City.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. And by new MSN 8. It's better with the butterfly. MSN 8, more useful every day.
Final seconds here of the first quarter. The two highest scoring teams in the NFL, but a low scoring opening period at 7-3 Oakland. Long arm fake by Green, steps up and throws down the middle. Incomplete. Johnny Morton had it but couldn't bring it in as the first quarter comes to an end. The score, the Raiders 7, the Kansas City Chiefs 3. Will return to Arrowhead Stadium right after this message and a word from your local station. And we open the second quarter here at Arrowhead. 7-3 Oakland. Second down play to Priest Holmes, who's been held in check till now, but he has a first down on that carry. He had gained only 6 yards on 4 attempts in the first quarter, but 12 on that one.
Well, the Raiders really played the run pretty well. They're only allowing their opponents less than 100 yards rushing a game. So this is a pretty good matchup, Priest Holmes against this defense. And as you mentioned, Dick, his first really big run at it. And there's an old guy and a young guy. Tony Gonzalez working against Trace Armstrong. Armstrong, 36 years old, his 14th year in the league. And let me tell you something, the guy still plays this game at a high level.
He can get around the corner.
Yeah, a lot of great years in Miami and hurt last year for the Raiders.
Green goes long. Incomplete. Intended for Derek Blaylock, the running back who has the best speed of any of the backs in the Dick Vermeil's corral. Bill Romanowski staying with him. Monday on CBS, you can celebrate Halloween early with a monster hit comedy, Still Standing. See why families everywhere find this show frighteningly funny. Don't miss an all-new Still Standing tomorrow night, CBS, right after Everybody Loves Raymond.
That was the matchup that Trent Green and the Chiefs wanted. They wanted Derek Blaylock with that tremendous downfield speed, locked up one-on-one against the linebacker. But Romanowski showed a little speed for a guy 36 years old, didn't he?
Holmes back in and loses a yard on that carry. Time for trick or treat. We've got a treat from New York.
And watch this little trick coming up here, Dick. After a Santana Moss 63-yard punt return for a touchdown, the spin move by Coles gives the Jets another touchdown. 14-3 after the first quarter. And let's go back to Dick and Dan.
What do you know, Jim and Dick? Looks like Herm's guys are making a comeback, huh?
Yeah, boy, that combination. Pennington loves Lavernius Coles, huh? Tony Richardson now in the backfield. The shotgun used by Trent Green on 3rd and 11. Underneath, complete to Tony Gonzalez, but he's ridden out of bounds. Short of the first down at the 45 by Derek Gibson. So the punting team on for Kansas City. Now the Raiders defense, despite all those losses in the secondary to injury and Sam Adams' overnight injury, have really held up well against this high-scoring Kansas City offense. Tim Brown, who holds the Raider record for punt return yardage, and he's being used now because of the injury to Philip Buchanan. Sure-handed. Make sure those mitts are warm. Fair catch at the 11-yard line. And with it a timeout. 2 minutes into the... wait, we've got a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Hold the music.
Literally. This flag came sailing in well after the play was over.
Which usually means regardless it isn't a change of possession, but it's against Kansas City for holding on the punt protection. And the Raiders are indicating we'd rather have Dan Straczynski punt again.
Well, given the fact that they're back at the 12-yard line. It's going to be interesting to see whether Tim Brown does anything but fair catch the ball today.
During the kick, holding, 83 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Kendall Gammon is the snapper on the play.
There he is right in the middle of the field right here. Whoa! A complete reverse somersault 360 pin. The only thing missing there was some riding time.
He's got his own video on snapping called Snap Right. Yeah, that's snap him down as well. So Straczynski lines one toward the sidelines, and Brown will return, fumbles the ball, actually muffs it, and it goes out of bounds in Raider possession. And they do pick up yardage on the penalty. Now the timeout. The music sings. 7-3 Raiders.
The Tennessee Volunteers drive into South Carolina to battle Lou Holtz and his Gamecocks. Classic fall football next Saturday on CBS.
Well, the rain has stopped. That's the good news for fans here at Arrowhead. Here's a reminder. All your fantasy football updates, well, you can check out other great fantasy games. It's all at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. First down Raiders. They gain 15 yards because of that holding penalty. They start at the 27 with a screen to Garner. Slips outside and then is wrestled down by Glenn Cadrez. Tim Brown, what a first quarter for him.
He has been busy. He's earning his paycheck this week. He's already got 5 receptions, including starts the game off with 3 in a row. Relatively short passes where they let him do what he does so well, run after the catch. This one, Rich Gannon, a beautiful throw, finding Brown in stride. And keep in mind, he's also the guy for the Raiders back in punt return formation as well. So a very busy start to this afternoon already for the former Heisman winner, Timmy Brown.
36 years young. Incomplete off the fingertips of fullback John Ritchie. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9. A rare situation for the Chiefs defense. 3rd and long. And a reminder, next up, our doubleheader game 2, Denver, New England. Most of you will see that game from Foxborough or Houston at Jacksonville. For more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline.
Denver and New England, Dick, the 2 Michigan quarterbacks who are on the same team. Tom Brady and Brian Griese.
Brady, the understudy to Griese. Crowd picks up the tempo. What protection again. Then underneath, complete to Garner. And Garner dives forward for a first down at the 40-yard line. Larry Atkins made the tackle. It was Eric Hicks applying pressure, however, late on quarterback Gannon.
Yeah, the key word was late. The Chiefs come with just a 3-man pass rush in the loop all the way around by Hicks. Middleton doesn't even see him coming. So the Chiefs elect to drop back 8, play an umbrella coverage. Well, it was an umbrella, but unfortunately the umbrella was too far back to keep the Raiders from picking up a first down.
It's one of those you buy in the street corner. You know, you open it and the spikes go right through the umbrella.
That's a pretty good analogy.
Gannon underneath, sidearms it complete to Jerry Rice, who is wrestled down by Greg Wesley after a gain of 6. And we have an update in New York and Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, Dick and Dan. We may have a little blowout going on here with the Jets. Pittington's second touchdown pass of the day. Already 21-3, early stages, second quarter. And let's go back to Dick and Dan.
Jerry Rice, 248 consecutive games with a reception. An NFL record that is so far ahead of who's ever in second place, and he just builds on it. Underneath is the handoff, and the Chiefs were ready with that one. As charging in was Gary Stills, I believe, underneath. Yes, he is being used more and more by Dick Vermeil, who's trying to get more speed on the field. Stills and young Scott Fujita at linebacker, and Larry Atkins, another linebacker, trying to overcome the big yardage they're giving defensively with speed.
One of the tougher positions, though, in the NFL to play as a rookie, outside linebacker. You have so many different things coming at you from every direction.
3rd down and 3. Gannon again in the pocket. To the side and complete. First down again, Jerry Rice in front of William Barty. And this is just the system that Oakland has used all season. The short passes, hoping to spring somebody free.
And it's such an unusual situation for everyone here in Arrowhead Stadium, watching their defense being victimized by Rich Gannon, who of course played quarterback here in Kansas City. The decision had to be made: is our quarterback of the future going to be Rich Gannon, or is it going to be Elvis Grbac? They went with Grbac, and as they say, the rest is history. But there's a lot of wondering what would have happened if Gannon would have stayed.
2 13-game seasons with the Chiefs when he was quarterback. It's Garner burrowing for short yardage. Give him a couple to the 43 of the Chiefs. Gannon 13 for 17. He said that his preseason goal is to complete 70% of his passes in each game with no interceptions. Those are high ideals. Well, he's completed 69% on the season and only thrown 6 picks, so he's pretty close.
What a miserable failure. 69% instead of 70.
Second down and 8. Changing his play with hand signals. Gets it off in time. Fires down the middle to Brown, incomplete. Good coverage that time by Ray Crockett and Shenard Hartz. Hartz, another young player. First year out of Boise State.
But what a throw by Rich Gannon. You're right, Dick, about the quality of the coverage. But look where that football is delivered. But Ray Crockett gets the left hand in there and kind of deflects the football and knocks it away. Absolutely perfect by Crockett. See, that left hand gets in there? But that ball could not have been delivered any better by Rich Gannon.
3rd and 8. Arrowhead volume increases. He pick up the blitz, throw underneath, complete to Brown, breaks the tackle, and has the first down. Does he not get away from the tackle of Derek Ransom? It would not have been the first down.
Well, there's the old zone blitz where you drop a defensive lineman back into coverage, and you're asking a defensive lineman in the open field to tackle Tim Brown. It's pretty hard for me to come down crashing too heavily on Derek Ransom. There aren't many defensive tackles that are going to tackle number 81 in the open field. That's asking a lot.
That is indeed. And Brown does what he has done throughout his great career. Gets the extra yards. There's the pass down the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Jerry Rice. Barty had him smothered. Let's go to New York for this update.
All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers with a big start at Baltimore, and it's Maddox to Burris for the 2nd time in this game. 4 times now they've hooked up since Maddox took over as the starter. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
All right, Jim. Awakening for Bill Cowher's team, 21-0. As you look at the AFC North, and Baltimore and Pittsburgh tied, and the winner of that game goes into the lead, and Cleveland's still in it, although the Jets are making it tough on them today in New York.
That is the opposite of what's going on in the AFC West, where we are today.
Give it to Porter on the end around, and the big wide receiver caught in the backfield and bulldog down for a yard loss by Marcus Patton, the veteran linebacker from UCLA.
You saw where the 3-3 would put you in first place in the AFC South. In the AFC West, that 3-3 isn't going to get you anywhere with San Diego at 6-1. Talk about a competitive division. Take a look at this. And that's what at the bottom you look at the Chiefs 3-4 with a bye next week. They just so desperately want this win where they can get back to 500 going into the bye week. If they go into the bye at 3-5 in that division, boy, they would have to put together a Hall of Fame second half to make the playoffs.
3rd and 11 for Gannon, who throws long down the middle for Brown, incomplete. That time Gannon had to hurry his throw as pressure came on the blitz.
Ooh, and how fortunate for Kansas City that Rich Gannon under pressure overthrew that ball a little bit, because Tim Brown had gotten into the open. That would have been a touchdown.
After considering the possibilities, Coach Bill Callahan of the Raiders has decided to go with his punter, Shane Leckler. This would be about a
52,
yeah,
somewhere in that area.
Into the wind.
On a sloppy field.
So Leckler, an outstanding kicker in his 3rd year out of Texas A&M. punches it high. And the fair catch, Dante Hall at the 11-yard line. So Kansas City has the ball deep in their own end. They trail the Raiders 7-3. With Lance Barrow, our producer, Mike Arnold, our director, Dick Enberg, Dan Deerdorf, Bonnie Bernstein here in Kansas City. Chiefs ball, 11-yard line, trailing 7-3, and this is Priest Holmes. He found a little daylight. Closed by Bill Romanowski out at the 17, a gain of 6. Folks, tonight on CBS, Libby Parsons, convicted of murdering her husband. Now she's out to prove he was alive all along. Don't miss Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones. This is an outstanding action thriller. Double Jeopardy tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
Love that movie.
That's worth, even if you've seen it, go through the whole drama again. Green, deep for Gonzalez, and he's got it. And the big tight end, a first down at the 42-yard line. Anthony Dorsett able to trip him up.
Tony's been pretty quiet so far this game, and this is what he brings to the table. His ability to get downfield and run away from safeties and cornerbacks. An extraordinary athlete is Tony Gonzalez. Basketball, luckily, came in second this year for the Chiefs. After a long holdout during training camp, he just came in the week before the season opener and picked up like he'd never even missed any practice time whatsoever.
Played for Steve Mariucci at Cal in football, and a well-liked guy in the locker room as well. Back to Gonzalez, hit immediately by Romanowski, who has made his presence felt in this first half.
And watch this. Yes, there's a bit of a rivalry between number 53 and number 88. Romanowski, because of his ability to run, really ends up drawing the coverage an awful lot on Gonzalez. And of course, Romanowski formerly with Denver, twice a year. It's with Tony Gonzalez. And there'll be more of that before this is over.
2nd and 4. Down the middle, complete. And that's the rookie Mark Bollrichter from Hastings, Nebraska, NAIA school, the Broncos.
And here go the Chiefs with the no-huddle offense. Dick said, I wanted to get a feel for what the Raiders were going to do defensively, and then we'll go into it later in the ball game. It's not a real hurry-up, but it's a no-huddle, trying to keep the Raiders personnel on the field.
Underneath to Gonzalez. And the big tight end rumbles inside the 25, and he was using the forearm to push off Anthony Dorsett.
Yeah, the crowd's yelling like they want a penalty on the Raiders. No, don't worry about it, folks here in Arrowhead. Tony Gonzalez able to take care of himself. He was giving as much as he was getting. Torrey James over there, he caught a Gonzalez forearm right in the chops. 3
catches on this drive for Gonzalez. He has 4 in the game. Another first down. Trailing 7-3. It's Holmes on a draw. Look at the patience, but a flag down as Holmes tackled inside the 20-yard line by veteran John Perella.
Head linesman on the far side of the field calling offsides on the Raiders. That's one of the things when you hurry things up. Sometimes defensive linemen get a little sloppy lining up.
Offside. 93 defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Trace Armstrong, Gildy.
Well, as a defensive lineman, you get a good 5, 6, 7 seconds to find out where the ball is, line yourself up. But when a team's coming at you no huddle, you plant, and sometimes you drop yourself with that hand in the neutral zone.
1st and 5 from the 18 of the Raiders. Green underneath again to Gonzalez. Tackled immediately by Dorsett and others after a short gain.
Tony's going, hey, take your best shot. I'm not going down. If you want to take it, go ahead. What did he give, a thumbs down to Eric Barton when he came over?
For the second hit. Gonzalez, who, if he had his dreams of being a basketball player, and that was his early favorite sport, and Charles Barkley was his favorite player, so they'll post up on you.
Well, the one thing about Tony, I keep telling myself that even though this is his 6th year in the league, he's only 26 years old. He's still a kid.
That's right. He came out after his junior year at Cal. Priest Holmes trying to get outside and does. And finally pushed out of bounds at the 10-yard line. First down for the Chiefs.
This undrafted free agent continues to dazzle the NFL. Look at his eyes coming right at you. That's what Bill Romanowski sees. But that is what Holmes does to so many teams. If he has an MO running, it is he convinces a defense that he's going to run between the tackles. He gives that shoulder fake to the inside, and then he consistently beats teams on the edge and gets around the corner for positive yardage.
Saw them practice on Friday here, and he works as hard in practice every play as in a game. Gonzalez, and a flag down as Dorsett from behind had to give him a tug, and that'll be interference. Looks like they threw the flag at the 2-yard line. No holding, so that'll be the automatic first down to the 5. Yeah, we've talked about Jerry Rice and what an intense competitor and practice performer he is. And Priest Holmes has those same qualities. He just can't seem to get enough of doing his job well all the time.
Defense. Penalized half the distance to the goal. And a first down.
There's Tony Gonzalez at the bottom coming off. And as he makes that move back to the inside, Dorsett has the hands on him, although I'm sure that Gonzalez has been held a lot worse than that at various times. But that little shoulder fake to the outside got Dorsett leaning. He had no choice but to get both hands on Gonzalez when he broke back to the middle.
So it's first and goal from just inside the 5-yard line as the Chiefs threaten to take the lead. Holmes the only running back, and Johnny Morton in motion. Green deflected, incomplete. Travian Smith, the linebacker, appeared to get a hand up on that pass.
That ball was so hot it bounced all the way up and hit the upright about halfway up. Watch this ball. Watch that ball head on up. It soars a good 20 feet up in the air and hits the upright and caroms back into the end zone.
Appeared to be good coverage on the intended receiver Morton. Both Smith and Napoleon Harris, the other linebacker, on the play.
Morton and Kennison not exactly a big part of the Chiefs offense here in the early going.
Holmes. No gain. Well played by Eric Barton, a 4th-year linebacker from the University of Maryland, who leads the Raiders in sacks with 4 and has become a solid outside linebacker with Bill Romanowski on the other side. So 3rd and goal from the 5. Although they have it spotted inside the 5, so officially the 4-yard line.
In this active first half, Johnny Morton has no receptions. Eddie Kennison has only a pair.
10th play of the drive, empty backfield. The quick throw incomplete, and Green had to unload because Trace Armstrong had beaten his man again.
Well, he beat air that time because Armstrong completely unblocked as the Chiefs offensive line makes a mistake up front. In only a 4-man rush, you don't turn loose a defensive end and give a 275-pound guy a free run at your quarterback. You think big on big. You let the big guys handle the big guys. You don't give one of them just a free launch at your QB.
You see Morton Anderson, who made his first field goal. He's now looking for his 17th in 18 attempts this year in his first in Kansas City. He'll be joining Jan Stenerud, a former Chief kicker, in the Hall of Fame when he decides to retire. He said he'll be about 50 when he retires. And he's 2 for 2, hits the short one. And timeout. 2:35 left in this first half. The Raiders by 1.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention. CDW, the right technology right away. And by Domino's Pizza. Get the door. It's Domino's.
Intensity of Bill Romanowski, the 15-year veteran, 85 yards. The drive by Kansas City, but had to settle for 3 again and trail 7-6 as Mike Husted kicks it off. Down to Alvis Whittert, muffs it, falls on it, gets back up, and then is stuffed inside the 15. The whistle had blown it dead. No fumble. Larry Atkins and Jason Belser down to make the special teams play, and we have a timeout. 2:27 left in the opening half at Arrowhead. The Raiders 7-6. And welcome back to Arrowhead. The Raiders leading 7-6, take over at the 14-yard line with 2:27 remaining before the intermission. Rich Gannon picking on that very generous Kansas City defense, but only one touchdown. Rice in motion, back to the air he goes. Wide open underneath is Tim Brown, having a field day on those short passes. Picks up about 9 on that catch as Ray Crockett makes the tackle. And for Brown, that is his 7th catch in the half, 82 yards.
And here go the Raiders with a hurry up.
To the sideline to Porter, breaks the tackle on the sidelines to the 45 and finally out of bounds at the 47. Marcus Patton and Ray Crockett missed him early, and there's the 2-minute timeout. It comes with 1:56 left in the half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Gateway, a better way, and by Staples. Get back time. Go to Staples.
Recently moved here from Oakland as the weather at least has started to cooperate. Cold, but the rain has stopped.
Yes, the rain has stopped, and the field is holding up pretty well. I like the fact the Raiders are being aggressive, trying to get a score before halftime.
And Gannon fires incomplete, and he had a zip on that one as he tried to find tight end Roland Williams. Reminder coming up Nextel halftime report. Jim Dion, Dan Boomer, special guest the Chargers Marcellus Wiley. All the scores and highlights of our early games and a look ahead at our second half of the doubleheader coming up next on the Nextel halftime report. Gannon just 2 yards shy of 150. 300 yards would tie the NFL record for consecutive 300 games. Plenty of time, and he's going long for Brown and Rice. And it's Rice who is deep and overthrows him. And with all the short passes, you just have a feeling, Dan, that that long bomb's going to break open for Oakland.
Although, you know, neither Jerry Rice nor Tim Brown has, you know, explosive long-range speed. Neither one of them is a real scare, a safety type burner. But you're right, just because of the mere number of short passes, sooner or later one of them slips open deep.
3rd down and 10. 1:44 left in the half. All timeouts left both sides. Gannon flushed a little bit, throws to the sideline, incomplete. So a little pressure that time, and hurried his throw to the sidelines for Marcus Knight.
Well, big Lincoln Kennedy right down here on the bottom almost gets run back into the quarterback. You take a look how the pocket deep collapsed, but then Rich Gannon, because of excellent blocking by the guards and center up front, was able to step up and deliver the ball downfield. But a good job by the Kansas City Chiefs defense of holding when it had to.
Well, and they've got plenty of time and all 3 timeouts as Leckler sends this one to the left sidelines off his foot. And it stays inbounds and will be down by the Raiders at the 21 or 22 yard line. So the Chiefs, with 1:26 left, have a chance to regain the lead. And welcome back to Arrowhead, and stay with us at halftime for the scores and highlights with the guys back in New York. The Nextel halftime report follows the conclusion of this opening half. A tight battle, low scoring, surprisingly. 2 teams that were averaging in the mid-30s on the season, but in this cold, damp condition, a 7-6 game. See what Trent Green and the Chiefs can do with 3 timeouts and 1:26 left. Screen it, and it should work. Holmes has blockers. 40, all the way to the 48. Rod Woodson got him down. And a timeout, Kansas City. 1:14 left in the half.
It's a place where parents take their kids to have fun. But CBS Monday.
Rosie!
it will become a crime scene.
Maybe that's not even her in that room.
I'm sorry. Stopping a child predator isn't just another case.
The killer took a souvenir.
For CSI Miami, it's personal.
This animal has provided us with a mountain of evidence, and we will not sleep till we've been all the way through it, because we know that beneath that mountain lies his grave.
The most watched new show of the season, CSI Miami, all new CBS Monday.
A beautifully set up screen by the Kansas City Chiefs. Priest Holmes, what a wonderful job he did of selling a block inside, and then out in front his linemen, Wigman and Shields. And that was, you could not have asked for more the first play of that possession.
27-yard gain on the screen, first down from the 49. Holmes has to cut back inside away from traffic. What a job of running. Shouldn't have gained a yard, and he's able to break free, and Romanowski makes the tackle at the 44, a gain of 7 yards.
Still 2 timeouts remaining for Kansas City. Trent Green elects not to use one here and just hurry it up.
Oh, tried to pull it back, and it's an incomplete pass. That was a tucker.
That was a tuck. That is. I think we've all become educated about the tuck after the New England-Oakland game last year, but this is a classic case of a tuck. Trent Green elected not to throw it, was trying to bring the ball back in. It left his hand, and that is an incomplete pass.
Stops the clock, 46 seconds, 2 timeouts left. Green is 11 for 18 in the game, 124 yards. He's number 4 in the league in quarterback rating, coming in at 95. Brett Favre number 1, and Rich Gannon a close second. Holmes has the first down and more to the 37-yard line, and the clock running, and a timeout now by Green. 1 timeout remaining for the Chiefs. 39 seconds left.
Hey, how you guys doing?
This is Tony Gonzalez, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He supports the United Way by preparing meals at a local community center. Tony has good hands. The kitchen staff knows this.
Heads up.
D-Bone. Sorry.
Tony Gonzalez. On the football field, he has good hands.
Welcome back to Hall of Fame Football Sunday here in Kansas City. The big tackle John Alt inducted into the Wall of Fame, the Hall of Fame here in Kansas City. They'll have ceremonies at halftime. Also honor the Dallas Texans 1962 AFL championship team. Green, 3rd down, searches. Now he'll scramble, has Holmes to block. He's all the way to the 20. He's to the 15, to the 14-yard line. The clock is running. 25 seconds left. They'll try to spike it here to stop the clock at 20. Good job by Kansas City of getting in position. 17 seconds left.
And a smart play by Trent Green, obviously running the ball, but not wasting their last time out right there. Getting his team up and getting him set. Now watch how he takes off. He's going to put his hand on the hip of Priest Holmes, and then he passes him. Holmes actually grabbed Green's jersey and pulled him along.
Did you see that? Looks like a roller derby play. You know? Buggy whipped him. run down there on the Oakland Raiders sidelines could appreciate that. An old roller derby star.
Nick, you're you're all over. You are all over.
Okay.
The Bay Area Bombers.
Call off the jam as Green throws. Intercepted by Romanowski. And what a big play by the veteran linebacker. His 18th career interception as he drifted back in the flat. And hasn't he had a big first half? He's been all over the field.
Well, Tony Gonzalez was lined up in the slot working against Romanowski. And somehow, I don't know if Trent Green was expecting a shallower pattern by Gonzalez, but Gonzalez keeps working towards the goal line, and the ball just underthrown.
Interception at the 3-yard line by Romo. He says, I still have the passion to prepare, and that's the test to continue. And folks ask him why. He goes on and on and on. And man has never missed a game going all the way back to high school, college, and now pro.
And for the Chiefs, Dick, as they head to the locker room, it's all about being deep in Raiders territory, having opportunities to score touchdowns, twice settling for field goals, and that time an interception.
You saw 95 Derek Ransom as he left the field. He blocked that early field goal attempt by Janikowski that gave the Chiefs their first point. So
I think Dick's going to tell his team, we have met the enemy and they is us.
Yep, the offense has not produced based on their high octane performance of the other 7 games of this season. Well, Bonnie Bernstein has one of the coaches.
All right, Bill Callahan, you said you had a dilemma in trying to figure out how to stop Priest Holmes. Rate your defense's performance so far.
Our guys came out strong. This is important that we started early and we came out with a good start. We opened the game very well against the run, and we got to continue to shut that down.
Coach, thank you.
That was his first priority, despite all those problems with defensive back injuries. Stop Priest Holmes. Callahan seems pleased. The Raiders here at the intermission have a 7-6 lead. And coming up, the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
In front.
One of the strongest legs in the game of football, but that's why they play the game. Sebastian Janikowski blocked right here by Kansas City. They recover. And big fella, I tell you what, this is something you love to do.
Oh, yeah.
Third and goal. Tell me about this play.
We see Rob Coleman right here taking down Kansas City's Trent Green for the sack. He didn't dance, but it still looked good.
That's right. Rich Gannon on the play action fake. Hits right here. Doug Jolly for the touchdown.
The game's only touchdown as we go around the league. Tennessee at Cincinnati.
Hey!
Homer, this could be the day.
First week of the season, you guys. The Nextel halftime report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions.
Halftime at Arrowhead, Hall of Fame weekend. Oakland leads Kansas City 7-6. 1962, they won the AFL championship. Their coach was Henry Stram and the quarterback Lenny Dawson. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
Vote no on Proposal 4.
What makes our French toast fabulous? Is it the egg batter with a hint of cinnamon, the 3 slices of super thick toast, the powdered sugar? Yep, the new fabulous French toast, served with sizzling bacon and sausage links, only at Denny's. It's not that you can get a seasoned grilled chicken breast sandwich with cheddar cheese, crispy onion rings, and sweet hickory spread for lunch that's surprising. It's that you can get it at your favorite breakfast place. The new barbecue chicken sandwich, served with a side of fries, only at Denny's.
Both teams back on the field here at Arrowhead, with the Raiders leading Kansas City 7-6, and that is the surprise. We figured that by halftime each team would have 3 touchdowns.
We thought the weather might hold them back, Dick, but the field really has held together pretty well. For Kansas City, it's been missed opportunities here so far in the first half in the red zone, and goal to go. First, this penalty on Mark Boerichter on a touchdown scoring play. It resulted in Kansas City touchdown. Then pressure from Trace Armstrong forced Trent Green to throw the ball away, and then finally underthrows the ball, and Romanowski comes up with the interception. So Kansas City has been knocking on the door, but they have not been able to cross the goal line and make it count.
You see there 23 touchdowns in the red zone, led the NFL coming in, but 3 possessions inside the 20 in the first half and no touchdowns. As you look at Dante Hall and CBS, Sebastian Janikowski about to kick it off to start this second half. Well, what a first half the veteran Bill Romanowski had. Tackles, covering, and then the interception to deny before halftime. Ball up the middle and close to the 30-yard line, and that's where Trent Green and the offense will begin. A look at the first half numbers.
And as you realize, the score 7-6, those numbers reflect that.
Boy, don't they?
Very even on both clubs, up and down the line. The statistics very close, no matter what we pick to show you. So they are very reflective of the score.
There are the first half possessions for the Chiefs. A couple of field goals, a punt and interception. Both teams moved the ball well from the 30 to the 30, but then struggled once getting close to that goal line.
Well, they did score 1 touchdown, but it was taken off the scoreboard by that really horrible call against Mark Boerichter.
They fake the reverse and throw the screen to Holmes. And Holmes at the 50, down the sidelines with blockers, and finally caught from behind and pushed out of bounds He's inside the 20 at the 20-yard line. Beautifully conceived play. Undoubtedly, Dick Vermeil and Al Saunders set that one up at halftime.
What speed by a defensive lineman and Tony Bryant. You cannot set up a play any prettier than this. There's Will Shields out in front with an outstanding block. Brian Waters running downfield. But look at Bryant, 94, and then Terrence Shaw, both of whom get on the sideline. But Bryant, a defensive lineman, chasing down Priest Holmes from behind. Pretty impressive. Well, that's hustle.
But a 49-yard gain and a first down at the 20 for Kansas City. Right back to Holmes. And he can't turn the corner. Tackled for a yard loss as Barton came back to assist Torrey James. Let's go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick Vermeil walked out of the locker room with me, pointed up to the scoreboard which says Raiders 7, and he said, well, our defense is playing better. The one thing he's still really aggravated about, and Dan, you just touched on it, what Vermeil called that phantom penalty on Mark Boerichter in the first quarter. Offensively, pretty happy with what his squad's doing. He said we still have to continue to take advantage of those one-on-one matchups on our receivers and convert on third down.
Well, you're right, Bonnie. A phantom penalty is a good choice of words. You can't be called for an illegal crackback blocking on someone who's directly across from you.
2nd and 11. And it's to Dante Hall, who lines up in the backfield, the little wide receiver. They've used that play throughout the course of the season. Doesn't do much on this occasion, maybe 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
There is Al Saunders, the Kansas City offensive coordinator. He came with Dick Vermeil from St. Louis. We remember him, longtime guy with Don Coryell and with the San Diego Chargers, head coach for a while. One of the league's great offensive minds, and he is like he's got to be like a little kid on Christmas morning with all the weapons he has on offense with Kansas City.
Empty backfield, 3rd and 8 for Green. Underneath, and it's intercepted on the deflection. Terrence Shaw, and he's tackled at the 15. So once again inside the 20, the 4th time the Chiefs denied, and twice on interceptions. Romanowski the end of the first half, and now Terrence Shaw denies to start the second. Well, Trent Green's had trouble winning the favor of the Kansas City crowd this season, and those last 2 interceptions don't help. Garner twisting and fighting his way forward out to the 18-yard line of the gain of 5.
He's really looking off the Oakland defense. Watch Trent Green here look to his right, and now he's going to come back, but he throws the ball well behind number 85, Mark Boerichter, his intended target. For some reason, the timing of that program was all screwed up, and Terrence Shaw did a wonderful job of going low and digging that football out and making that interception. That easily could have been an incomplete pass.
And 2nd down, Gannon. Down the middle, wide open, Tim Brown, first down at the 33. And deflating it is, the interceptions. Here were the Chiefs at the end of the half, a chance to take the lead, denied on the Romanowski pick. And then they start the second half, big gain on the screen pass. They're down inside the 20 and denied once again. You wonder emotionally with this defense, all the pressure on them continuing to play uncharacteristically in light of the scoreboard.
Well, the defense has taken a lot of heat and a lot of grief over the weeks, but they're the ones keeping the Chiefs in the football game right now.
That's right. Garner again twisting away, yards after he's hit. Boy, that's the name of his game. Dwayne Clemens finally makes the tackle downfield. Well, tonight, as always, Sunday night means 60 Minutes on CBS. A woman who loses her job at the FBI charges that people who worked with her were more interested in budget concerns than in capturing terrorists. That's tonight on 60 Minutes. 2nd down and a long 2 for Oakland at the 41. Off play action. Gannon underneath to Brown, and a first down at midfield. A tackle by Barty. Rich Gannon at 36 years of age, his 15th season, playing his best ever football.
And how often do you see Raider receivers, Tim Brown, catching the ball going parallel to the line of scrimmage? The short crossing pattern, such a staple of this Oakland offense. And of course, Tim Brown and Jerry Rice so adept at working that middle soft part of a defense, catching the ball, but then able to turn upfield, and because of their size and running ability, pick up extra yardage.
Sees over the century mark. Garner on first down. And even after he's hit, he moves the pile another yard to the Kansas City 47. Behind Big Mo Collins there, you see 79. Collins in his first duty of the season. He's missed the first 7 games because of an injury, knee surgery in the summer exhibition period. And they welcome his 325 pounds of blocking bulk back to the starting lineup.
Blocking bulk. I like that.
Double tight end Roland Williams and Doug Jolly. And now an empty backfield. And Gannon looking for the quick hit again behind Tim Brown as they doubled Brown, and he had to force the throw wide.
The crowd noise here at Arrowhead can disrupt an offensive team, and the guys who have the hardest time hearing the quarterback are the offensive tackles. Now Lincoln Kennedy is the right tackle. Now look at his right ear right here. You notice there's nothing in it.
Left ear.
But in his left, that's his left ear. But in his right ear, right here, you see he's wearing an earplug. That's the ear that faces the crowd. His left ear, which is facing his quarterback, is without a plug. And that's a very, very smart move.
High-tech auditory system here by Kennedy. Gannon flushed, has to throw that one away, and it was not grounding. The referee right there in case the call was deserved. Ron Winter. Good pressure from Greg Wesley.
Pressure right up the middle. And one more than the Raiders can block. They've got 5. The Chiefs bring 6. And Wesley did an excellent job of sliding right in behind Larry Atkins, the linebacker. And Rich Gannon didn't see the blitzing Wesley until the last minute. Had nowhere to go with it.
Dante Hall back at the 10 as Shane Leckler to punt.
And this has been an awfully good job, Dick, by this Chiefs defense to this point.
Hall takes the bounce at the 20 and tackled at the 23-yard line. 9:27 remaining in the third quarter at Arrowhead. It's still a one-point game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Acura and the 260 horsepower TL Type S. Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by MGM's Die Another Day, starring Pierce Brosnan.
40-degree day here in Kansas City. Rained all morning, but dry at the moment. As we remind you, see why CBS Monday is America's best night of TV. Look at that lineup. Everybody loves Raymond. Still standing, the new hit. CSI Miami. Terrific. And Late Show with David Letterman. He's got another tremendous lineup of guests this coming week. Mondays on CBS, America's most watched network. At the 23, trailing 7-6 with 9:25 left in the third. Green throws underneath. Short gainer to his tight end, Jason Dunn from Eastern Kentucky. Only his second catch of the season. He's about 280. He's been injured, and Dick Vermeil said just to have him back to anchor as a blocker the other side of the line from Gonzalez.
Yeah, he's not all the way back. He missed the last 5 games because of a shoulder problem, and it's really hurt the Chiefs running game, if you can believe that, the way Priest Holmes has been running in Dunn's absence. It's hard to imagine anything's hurt their running game.
There goes Holmes streaking up the middle. Denying tacklers to the 40-yard line. And while he had a slow start in the first quarter, only 6 yards rushing, he's been picking it up since, and he's had his best action in the fourth quarter this season.
Boy, excellent blocking up front. Take a look at the hole being created, and then the first guy he's going to see is Rod Woodson, and Woodson misses the tackle. Actually comes up with nothing but air, but Brian Waters, the left guard, Casey Wigman, the center, and Will Shields, that time really opened up the middle of the Raider defense.
Holmes leads the league in yards from scrimmage. He has 49 yards rushing and picks up another one there for 50, plus 89 yards in catches today. Chris Cooper wearing that familiar Howie Long number 75 in to make that tackle.
You and I talked about that before. It's going to be a long time before I see a number 75 in a Raider uniform without thinking of my good friend and Hall of Famer, Howie Long.
Boy, He drew the attention. He didn't. He always had a lot of company from somebody across the line of scrimmage, 2 or 3 trying to.
Think he was a high motor guy.
Destructive. Second down and 10 underneath. Short gain. Derek Gibson right there to deny Tony Gonzalez. And Bonnie, what do you have for us?
Well, Dick, Priest Holmes is less of a vocal leader than he is one who leads by example on the field. But with the Chiefs trying to come off of 2 losses, he asked Dick Vermeil after practice yesterday to get up in front of the team and speak. And he said, on offense, I want y'all to remember that I am not the only weapon. We have a stable of playmakers. Let's use them. On defense, you want to turn the corner, keep a hat on somebody, and we'll take care of the rest. And defensively speaking, it looks like the Chiefs are listening.
That's right, Priest. He's a modest guy. He doesn't talk much, but they were listening yesterday. Green to the sidelines, and a turnaround catch and a first down by Eddie Kennison, and that was a tough play on the slippery turf. He was looking for the ball to his left, had to reach back and pick it off. Clarence Love, the defender.
Love loses his footing. He's locked up one-on-one, and you can see as he kind of has to come back and plant, that skids out. His one leg skids out from under him a little bit. And Priest Holmes, can he do it all? Picks up the blitzer and puts him on the ground. Of course, he ends up with his own offensive lineman, John Tate, on top of him. But it's not all glamour for a running back.
Oh, they tried that running back screen, and look at Holmes, who was tackled for a 3-yard loss, and he's able to make 3 yards. Romanowski was right there as the ball arrived. Eric Barton finally made the tackle.
What an unusual formation for the Chiefs. They actually had 4 guys split out to one side, intended all the way to have a blocking wall set up in front of Priest Holmes, and that was another backward pass. But Romo sniffed it out. What's new?
4 Super Bowl rings. He said he wants another. A couple in San Francisco and 2 more in Denver. Derek Blaylock into the backfield to give Priest Holmes a breather. Instead to give it to Tony Richardson. And the big fullback takes his 235 pounds close to a first down. Thursday, after CSI Don't Miss the New hit drama Without a Trace, so full of twists there's no way you'll guess how it ends. An all new Without a Trace, Thursday after CSI on CBS, America's most watched network.
Well, here are the Chiefs now with a first down, knocking on that red zone. They've already been inside the 24 different times, and of course only have 2 field goals, and they're working their way down there now.
From the 28, Richardson again. And he wrapped up, tried to twist outside, but Tony Bryant there to assist on the tackle. Eric Barton was there first. Bryant, the only starter today that was a starter last year on defense. That's a totally reworked defense for the Raiders.
And I'm still marveling at the play that Tony Bryant made, chasing Priest Holmes all the way downfield on that screen and making a tackle from behind. That was an impressive display of speed and hustle by Tony Bryant.
He likes to run long distances. He's from Marathon, Florida. Green. To Priest Holmes. Cuts back to the 20, and there's consumed by 4 white jerseys. DeLawrence Grant, one of those. So once again, Kansas City is right at the red zone. In fact, they're inside the 20. This is their 5th time.
It's almost a situation where if the first guy tackles Priest Holmes, you're amazed. Look at his yardage after the catch this season. Of course, an unofficial stat by the NFL, but pretty easy to keep track of. And he's well over 400 yards today. That's a lot of productivity.
Charlie Garner of the Raiders right there with him.
Yep, making people miss.
Holmes again tries to get outside.
There you go.
What balance. What balance. Again, it's a gain of only 3 or 4, but it shouldn't have been a yard gain.
The first guy so rarely gets a chance to bring Priest Holmes to the ground. And it's all about the timing of your cuts. Priest Holmes right here is pretty much lined up by Coleman. He's got him, but no, Priest Holmes just drives. Boy, he's got a sense for it. Bill Romanowski, as he usually, he's the guy that's going to get there, keeps hustling, and comes in and cleans it up. but not after Priest Holmes again makes people miss.
Another first down at the 15. Holmes tirelessly inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, and a gain of 7 more. Veteran Rod Woodson down low to make the tackle. Bill Callahan trying to stop the Kansas City Chief workhorse. Callahan had never been a head coach at any level until Al Davis gave him this prestigious job this year, and I think everyone that's met Callahan has been most impressed.
Well, the last 2 times the Chiefs were down here, what stopped them was interceptions. Why do I think Priest Holmes is going to keep getting the football?
2nd and 3. There he is. Pulling his way to the 3. 1st and goal for Kansas City.
Well, this was the least surprising play of the day, that Priest Holmes is going to keep getting the football. Out of the old-fashioned I formation, Tony Richardson playing the old I formation fullback, gets a good lead block.
He took on Derek Gibson, the safety, and Rod Woodson.
He looks like Mike Allstott in that situation with the pads down low. He looked more like a fullback in that situation.
Now with 69 yards. Back to Holmes. He's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, their 3rd goal-to-go situation of the day. They were 11 of 12 coming into this game in goal-to-go, and they were 0-2 before Priest Holmes gets them into the end zone on the 3rd try.
Number 15 for Priest Holmes. An amazing total, and he's not through the first half of this 2002 season. 15 touchdowns.
Priest Holmes will not throw an interception, so keep giving him the football in that situation.
Veteran Morton Anderson for the extra point. And Kansas City back in front. Priest Holmes Day this Sunday. He's in the end zone, this touchdown machine, and with it, Kansas City has a 13-7 lead. A time-consuming touchdown drive by Kansas City. Over 8 minutes, they went 77 yards and 13 plays, and Priest Holmes, not only the touchdown, but he gained 60 of the 77 yards.
And towards the end, it was just good old-fashioned power football.
Alvis Squitted at the 7-yard line. And taking the place of Terry Kirby out for the year with a broken leg. He's tackled at the 25 by Monty Beisel, and we have a timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by 1010-220. For great long-distance rates anywhere in America and around the world, dial 1010-220. And by Subway. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
78,685 on the new season. Football in the fall in the Midwest. 40 degrees on a rainy Sundays. 13-7 as Gannon comes out throwing, and Tim Brown wasn't looking for the pass, and Eric Warfield was carving an angle that would have led him to a touchdown had he been able to reach it.
Tim Brown didn't realize that there was a blitz being run. Rich Gannon, thinking that Tim Brown's going to make an adjustment to his pattern, throws the ball, and boy, you don't see a miscommunication like that between 2 veterans very often on this Raider offense.
Gannon again sets up to Brown, and they make amends. A first down and a gain of 12 in front of William Barty.
Let's go back and look at Kansas City's first touchdown of the day. Here's Tony Gonzalez. He'll come at motion, get a block. Willie Roaf collapses this whole side of the line, and then it's just power football. Richardson leading Holmes into the end zone. Here comes Gonzalez. Look at Willie Roaf, 77. Just drive his guy 4 yards down to the inside. Just too big a hole for Rod Woodson to try to seal by himself.
Meanwhile, first down Oakland. That was the 10th catch by Tim Brown. And now the screen to Garner. Little hesitation, and then he plows forward to the 45, and a gain of 8 more. Barty made the tackle. Well, we gave too generously. Holmes more yards than he deserved on that last touchdown drive. He had 41 of the 77 yards. But we can tell you that he has 170 yards, Priest Holmes, in this game from scrimmage. He has become a powerhouse.
He's always a story, but the story of the first 3 quarters of this football game is the fact that the last rated defense in the National Football League has held the Raiders to 7 points through 3 quarters of football.
And that is the end of the third quarter here in Kansas City with the Chiefs in front 13-7. We'll return to Arrowhead right after this message and a word from your local station. With Dan Theodore, Bonnie Bernstein, Dick Enberg back at Arrowhead. We start the fourth quarter. The Raiders with the ball at the 45, trailing 13-7. Under pressure, Gannon eludes the pressure, and look at him go. Wide open field, he slides at the 37-yard line. First down for the Raiders, and that's a typical Gannon scramble, but as he has aged, we see less and less of it.
But at 36, he can still go. Rich Gannon has always been one of the best running quarterbacks in the National Football League. But you're right, as he's gotten older, he'd prefer to pass the ball. Bill Callahan would prefer he passes the ball. Al Davis prefers he passes the ball. But when he has to, Rich Gannon can still run and run confidently.
In his career starting the season, he had 2,200 yards rushing.
That's a lot of rushing for a quarterback.
From the 39, it's the reverse to Brown. Chased by Fujita, and the rookie linebacker able to get him out of bounds, but not until Brown had gained another 7. Who's the best running back in the NFL, fans? Here are some options: Falk, Green, Priest Holmes, Deuce, LaDainian, Ricky Williams. Somebody's getting a double vote there. I don't think that's legal.
No, it's that guy in Missouri, Priest Falk.
The Missouri combination. Cast your vote at NFL.com. Emmitt Smith gets the honorary vote. 2nd and 3 for Gannon. Eric Hicks chases, and the pass to Brown complete on the sidelines for another Raider first down. And Brown having a double-figure day in catches. He now has 11 for 123 yards.
How's that for a busy day?
Had only 30 all season.
And it's far from over. Of course, the productivity of these two guys. Tim Brown had 83 receptions last year. Jerry Rice had 91.
And Rice, who's now 40 years of age, has 40 catches this season, and Brown's about to catch him in one game. Here he comes. Tim Brown to the 25-yard line.
I think Rice had 40 coming into the game. You're right, Dick. He's had 2 receptions today, so the gap has narrowed considerably.
In fact, they're even now at 42 each.
Yep. So that's I think they can put that to rest about has Tim Brown fallen from grace? Does Rich Gannon not look to his favorite receiver anymore? No, the sky's not falling.
Gannon filling it, though.
Yeah, yes, he is.
Crowd trying to help the defense. And Gannon has to use a timeout, the first timeout called by Oakland today in the second half. And we go to this commercial break. All of us at CBS Sports welcomes our new early morning team. Julie Chen, Renee Seiler, Harry Smith, Hannah Storm. Tomorrow morning they debut on CBS. Gannon on 2nd and 8 into the flat. Garner had to hold up his momentum forward to catch the ball behind him, and that may have cost a first down. Boy, fourth quarter, watch out for these two quarterbacks, Green and Gannon. They're the best in the league. Both have 7 touchdowns this year in the fourth quarter alone.
And look at the 2 ratings at the bottom of those graphics. Outstanding.
So with it on the line, these are the men that have really produced this year. Again, the Raiders trying to stop a 2-game losing streak. Kansas City looking for a win that would give them hope at 4-4 before the bye week. 3rd down, Gannon throws incomplete, and there's the flag. Ray Crockett just a little too soon.
Oh, and how costly a penalty like that is on 3rd down. Oh, that's what makes a coach grind his teeth.
And of course, in the Raider touchdown in the first half, there was a penalty.
Pass interference. 39 defense. Penalizes the spot of the foul and a first down.
Glenn Catrez with a hit out of bounds on third down in the first half.
Let's take a look at it.
Right hand.
Yeah, and the right hand was actually turning Jerry Rice a little bit, and that's what draws the penalty. You're allowed to have your hand on the receiver, but you can't move his torso. You can't twist his body in any way, and I think the official thought that Crockett did.
The quick toss to Brown. Now he has a dozen and out of bounds on the far sidelines, chased out by William Barty. But again, not a very exciting pass play, but a very productive one on first down. Gets him another 5.
And he had a wide receiver blocking for him out front. That last time, I believe Jerry Rice threw a pretty good block that got some extra yards. So, you know, there's more than glamour to these two guys, 81 and 80. Brown and Rice. They'll get down and get a little mud in their face as well.
P-R-O, pro.
You got it.
They fake the end around, and Gannon looks to the end zone, then has to throw it basically away. He did have Roland Williams there, well covered by Crockett. You know, it's this intense rivalry, and it's spirited at best. Usually we see a high penalty count, but there have only been 4 flags on Kansas City and 2 on Oakland today.
Well, the Raiders for many years were the most penalized team in the league. Just seemed to be one of the things that went along with the sun coming up in the morning and going down at night, and the Raiders were going to lead the league in penalties. But that changed a number of years ago as they've conformed.
Third down. Gannon to the end zone. Flag down. Incomplete as he sought his tight end, Roland Williams. And now let's check this penalty. So no sooner do you say low yellow flag count than one is thrown. And it's against the Raiders. That will be denied on an incomplete pass.
Illegal formation. Number 66 is not on the line of scrimmage. Penalties decline. Fourth down.
Rookie Langston Walker playing at left tackle, just too far off the ball and trying to get back into pass formation in a hurry.
Now there's a bit of a hesitation by the offense of the Raiders, and Bill Callahan finally had second thoughts and said, let's go for the 3.
Well, it's not like it's 4th and 1 or something like that. It's 4th and looks to be about a good 6 yards or so.
Missed the last 4. His field goal attempt in the first half was blocked. This is just 32 yards. And he drills this one down the middle. In warm-ups, he was hitting field goals from 53 that would have been good from 60. It's now 13-10. 40 degrees, and it's a lot hotter than that under the helmet. And this one heating up. It's been typical of this rivalry through the years. We started today. Remember, they have met 86 other times. Raiders have won 42. Kansas City's won 42, and there have been 2 ties.
And both of them lost in overtime last week. And at 13-10, overtime is very much in play today.
Janikowski to the goal line to Dante Hall. And he's out to the 31-yard line. He's an exciting return man. Dante Hall. Travion Smith made the tackle with 11:27 left in the fourth quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford. No boundaries. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's. And by Hewlett-Packard. HP Digital Imaging. When it's this easy, why not?
Kansas City with a field goal lead. Starts at the 32 here in the fourth quarter. 11:27 to go. And Priest Holmes gets the carry for 2 on first down. And a reminder this week on The Late Show, Dave has got a terrific lineup of guests, as we mentioned earlier, including a new stand-up from Jerry Seinfeld, plus Christina Aguilera, Foo Fighters, kids in Halloween costumes, and the latest Survivor Castaway. It's all new, all this week on The Late Show with Dave, right here on CBS.
And I throw you a question, Dick. Whither Johnny Morton? He does not have a reception. The free agent to join Kansas City this year, coming over from Detroit, nada in the reception department.
But they said he's been very patient, said, let's just win, I'll get mine. Green in trouble, and he gets his from Tony Bryant. Bryant, who's been a force all season long, and certainly again in this game today.
Well, Tony Bryant that had a sack and a half coming into today's game. There's a little bit of coverage involved here. Trent Green can't find anywhere and just takes off running with the ball, and he just happened to run in the direction of Tony Bryant. And that's one of those where you take the sack when it comes your way.
And from the 29-yard line after the loss, Trent Green and the Chiefs look at 3rd and 13. To the sidelines. Incomplete. Or did Eddie Kennison? Yes, he was knocked away by Torrey James. That ball took a long time getting to the receiver.
And you can see it's a rarity for the Chiefs to be going to the sidelines. Trent Green tries to get it to Kennison. The ball a little late getting there. Kennison should have caught that, though. Even though he took a little hit towards the end, that ball was in his hands and he should have held on.
Straczynski to punt. Tim Brown took a punt back for a touchdown against the Chiefs last year, 88 yards. One of his 3 career punt return TDs. No fair catch yet. And he's hit immediately at the 25. Mark Boerichter, the young man from the CFL and Little Hastings College, makes the play. Minutes to go. Raiders trail by 3. Start from the 27. Play action, and Gannon incomplete to Charlie Garner. And here's how the scoring is developed in this game at Arrowhead.
Well, it starts off with Morton Anderson putting Kansas City on the board first with a field goal, and then the rookie tight end for BYU, Doug Jolly, gets his first TD. Anderson again makes it a 1-point game, and then after 4 trips into the end zone, finally Priest Home gets it in the end zone for a touchdown, and then the Raiders come back with a field goal. And that's where we stand right now, 13-10 KC.
And the Chiefs, by far their stingiest defense, 23 points, the lowest number given up by Kansas City in a game this year. Gannon double pumps, and then he finds wide open Jerry Porter. And Porter, the 3rd-year receiver out of West Virginia that Bill Callahan calls his most improved player this season, has another big grab and a first down.
Dick, as this game moves along, doesn't it really become apparent how the Raiders utilize the middle of the field between the numbers in throwing crossing patterns to their wide receivers? Whether it's Brown, Porter, or Jerry Rice, it really is their favorite part of the field.
If those 3 are covered, then they put the tight end in there. Gannon again steps up from pressure, and a great catch by Jerry Rice on the sidelines with Barty wrapped all around him.
Look how white Jerry Rice's jersey still is. Jerry's remarkably clean given this stage of the ball game. Look at that. It looks like he changed uniforms at halftime.
They won't have to launder.
No. Again, he doesn't even hit the field there. His 3rd reception of the day, as Tim Brown has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the Raiders so far today.
The Raiders once again in Kansas City territory. Gannon underneath to Garner this time, and the running back has 10. He has 12 yards and a first down to the 34. Marcus Patton made the tackle, and what quick feet from Charlie Garner, who played his college ball at Tennessee.
Watch ask Eric Warfield about the quick feet of Charlie Garner. Watch this little dump off right here. We see the Raider loop. Well, watch Warfield, number 44, come in. Boop. That's all there is to that. Charlie Garner picks up 5 good yards. Yeah, and Eric Warfield is that's a load in the open field. Charlie Garner, so elusive. So quick, wonderful change of direction.
That's 8 catches for him today. The throw, Barty bats it in the air, intercepted by Marcus Patton. And the linebackers at the 40. He's at the 49, and a big turnover for Kansas City.
The first of the day. Oh, how sweet this has to be for the Chiefs defense.
Barty appeared to be the man who made the play, deflecting the pass.
All right, working the middle of the field. Jerry Porter bounces the ball up into the air, and Jerry Porter is actually the guy who's going to come from behind and try to strip the ball away from Marcus Patton. So the first turnover of the day by the Oakland Raiders comes at a very opportune time for the Chiefs.
And the veteran of 13 years in the league, Marcus Patton, has his 16th career interception to stop the Raiders. Kansas City leading by 3, and Green off play action. He's going to throw it away. And we're going to throw it to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, Dick and Dan, you both have been there for so many of his best moments. Just seconds ago in Dallas, an 11-yard carry by Emmitt Smith for the all-time rushing lead. Today, 20 carries, 94 yards. Michael Irvin celebrating on the sideline. They're celebrating in Dallas. They've stopped the game. Emmitt Smith has the record. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
Yeah, here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. We applaud in the booth here in Kansas City. Emmitt Smith, congratulations. That's wonderful.
They fake the reverse, give it to Holmes on the handoff, and he has a first down at the 35. The only thing that takes away from Emmitt Smith breaking the record is that forever we'll have to look at those ugly Seahawks uniforms when they replay it.
Oh, that'll be a big hit in Seattle.
Well, I can't imagine they like them.
Yeah, I admire Emmitt Smith so much, and I think everybody who loves the game of football in the National Football League. Can you come up with a better all-around player in person than Emmitt Smith? And if Walter Payton's record was to be broken, I can't think of anyone that I'd rather see do it than Emmitt Smith.
Well, Walter would have made that pick himself.
Yes, I think you're right.
Tony Richardson giving Priest Holmes a blow, and he is wrapped up by Eric Barton for a loss at the 45-yard line. Of course, this is the first half of our doubleheader on CBS. Already some great action, and looking for more at Foxborough as the Denver Broncos meet the New England Patriots, and Houston plays at Jacksonville. So stay with us. For more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline.
Dick, as we watched Emmitt Smith break that record, the first person that comes to my mind, though, is Barry Sanders, who, if he would have kept playing football, would have broken that record before Emmitt Smith did.
Oops. Trace Armstrong, was he drawn offside?
Barry Sanders, when he retired, was within striking distance and would have broken the record a while ago. And I wonder what he thinks of this moment.
Yeah.
A neutral zone infraction. Number 93 of the defense. Moving into the neutral zone to cause the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, when with more than one jump, you figure something's happened offensively. Now, does Green bob? No, pulling up was the right guard.
But it was hard for me to see who moved first. You know, the ruling was that Armstrong's movement is what made Will Shields move. Callahan, of course, arguing that it was Shields' movement that made Armstrong move.
That call would never have been made in your day. You wouldn't have got the benefit of that one.
No. That would always have gone against the offense.
Oh, it's second down and 12. Green hit from behind and wrapped up in the sack by Rod Coleman, who has 2 today. Replacing Sam Adams, who is not suited up for the Raiders. Coleman delivers.
And Coleman, really an undersized defensive tackle, as hard as this is to say, at about 280 pounds. But that was just drive and determination that got him in to Trent Green, who was taking care of the football. And after a couple of interceptions, I'm sure is at this stage of the ball game nursing a 3-point lead more than anything in the world. Does not want to throw another. I expect him to be very careful with the old pill.
Third down and 14. Screen it to Priest Holmes, and reading it perfectly was Barton. Eric Barton has had a solid defensive game for the Oakland Raiders.
Well, the screen's such a favorite of the Chiefs, and of course going to Holmes, they've had a lot of success with it today. And Eric Barton, I'm sure in the middle of that Raider huddle, everybody was yelling, watch the screen, and he did.
He was playing it the whole way. He was on Holmes' back. Straczynski to punt. Tim Brown lets it go, and so it's caught by Corey Harris. A flag is down on the play.
Boy, you practice that. You try to work on that, and you don't see it very often. That is hard to do, to catch a punt like that over your shoulder. Holding against the Raiders. Now, the critical part here is it did occur after the kick.
During the kick.
Yes.
Holding on a routine team. Penalized half the distance to the goal. First down.
The reason I say that, if it's called prior to the kick, it would have been a Kansas City first down.
So the Raiders, trailing by 3, will start from inside their 3-yard line with just under 5 minutes to go.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hertz, the world's #1 in car rental, and by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done.
The decibels are up at Arrowhead as Rich Gannon sets up shop inside his 3. Throwing from his end zone. Just does get it out to Garner, and Garner pushed out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Good job by Gannon in a crowd to coolly find somebody open.
And outstanding work by his offensive line. How about this from ground level? Right behind the offensive line. Of course, the critical part of this, any holding in the end zone while your quarterback is back there throwing, any penalty in the end zone is a safety and 2 points. And you talk about pressure on an offensive lineman when you have to block in your own end zone. Ooh, baby, that'll elevate your heart rate.
And they gave Gannon plenty of time. Second and short, underneath, complete to Rice, and Rice is to the 23-yard line. Did he fumble? The Chiefs are scrambling.
I heard a whistle.
No signal yet.
The officials are treating that as a live ball.
No one has signaled. Yes, Kansas City has it. Mike Maslowski appeared to have the ball. A rare fumble from Jerry Rice. Marcus Patton made the tackle, and Bill Callahan has made the long throw.
He threw his red flag in. They're going to challenge this. All right, let's play official first. He has possession of the football. He has put it away. There's no doubt about that. And the ball is out. Well, I say that, but where was his right knee? Let's get a better look. Where is his right knee?
It's not down yet.
It looks to me like it was oh so close to being on the ground, but I think his right knee was still off the ground when the ball comes out. This might give us our most definitive look. Yes, the ball is out before the knee hits the ground. And you hear the crowd here at Arrowhead. They saw that shot just at the exact moment that you saw it at home. And I think referee Ron Winter here is going to see that the call on the field was correct. That it was a fumble by the future Hall of Famer, Jerry Rice.
And it was Maslowski who made the tackle, and Patton recovered. So Marcus Patton has an interception and a fumble recovery here in the fourth quarter if this play stands.
Couple good jobs there. Excellent work by our camera guys, bringing us a series of good looks, and kudos to the officials on the field for calling it correctly as it happened. I think Ron Winter has seen what we saw. Of course, watch him come out and say he was down by contact, and then Dick, you can get me up off the floor.
Now that would be a shock if they should reverse this call.
After review, before either knee or any other part of the body other than hand or foot touched the ground, the ball came loose. It is a fumble. Kansas City possession.
And a timeout lost by Oakland. which could be critical as well. They're down to 1.
Yes, remember when Rich Gannon had to burn one at the other end of the field when they were on offense. So Marvcus Patton already with an interception and now a forced fumble. What a fourth quarter the middle linebacker of the Chiefs is having.
And he had him set up, and then Maslowski got the pinch in from the other side, and Patton recovers. First down at the 22. Plenty of time. 4:39. Holmes dancing through the hole to the 18-yard line. A gain of 4. Bonnie?
Well, coming into today, the Chiefs had the worst ranked defense in the league. And in talking to Dick Vermeil before the game, he said, I had to take up for my defensive coordinator, Greg Robinson. He also mentioned he thought this week could be the week for a breakthrough. Just looking at the fourth quarter alone and the success Marvcus Patton has had, what do you think, guys? Breakthrough game?
Well, at this point, to hold the Raiders to 10, they've got to be more than pleased. They fake the reverse, and it does not fool the Oakland Raiders as Holmes is dropped for a 2-yard loss. Again, we want to remind you tonight, a terrific movie this evening on CBS. Don't miss Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones. It's an action thriller, Double Jeopardy, tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
And a reminder to anybody watching this game that with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left, there's a whole lot of football left to be played. It's only a 3-point Kansas City lead. This game has a long way to go.
The last 3 games on this turf played between these two teams ended in a field goal in the last seconds. And flags down, no play. Linesman across the way making the call. Eddie Kennison may have left too soon.
Well, anytime there's no play, it's against the offense.
Delay game defense. Number 20.
Good call, Dan.
Unnatural movement to cause the offense to false start. A 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Well, that's an interesting interpretation. Yes.
Yeah, because the false start stops the play, but they're once again Callahan expressing frustration. Well, that penalty, that penalty should have been on the Chiefs. Where was their movement by Torrey James that caused Eddie Kennison to be the guy that moved? Did I miss something?
I didn't see it that way.
It looked like Kennison moved first.
Yes, I thought he took that little back step, and then James reacted to Kennison's move.
Oh, Callahan, I think, has a reason to be a little incredulous as to how that went against his team.
So third down and short to the end zone. Incomplete. A flag is down. Kennison was the target. Torrey James covering.
But the flag's on the other side of the field. Doesn't seem to be involving Kennison and James.
Against the Raiders. Illegal use of the hands or illegal chuck, and that'll give Kansas City a first down. It was 3rd and 2.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 36 defense. A 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Derek Gibson, the strong safety. He's lined up right here against Tony Gonzalez. On the right hand, hits Gonzalez in the face mask. And the back judge, whose job it is to watch the tight end release from the line of scrimmage, his primary responsibility at the snap of the football, and he saw that right hand up on the face mask.
Now back-to-back penalties take Kansas City to a first down with 3:15 to go, and Trent Green wants a timeout. They have the full 10 yards to go. First and goal from the 10, the Chiefs. Has anyone ever really escaped from the rock Alcatraz? Well, 1,000 of the world's toughest athletes are going to bike, swim, and run for glory at the Limassol AT Escape from Alcatraz Triathlon. For more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America Online keyword CBS Sportsline.
I have escaped from Alcatraz.
I know that when we were in San Francisco for the Oakland game. Yeah,
I got on that tour boat that took me out there.
Is that a little eerie just to be on the island and look back at the city?
All the times I've been to San Francisco, and I've only taken that tour once, but it is. You're right. And what a view of North America's most beautiful city, I think, from Alcatraz. What a view back to the city of San Francisco.
That was part of the penalty, to be ensconced and see yourself so close but so far.
Well put.
So close, but so far the Chiefs 10 yards from Pater. They give it to the reverse this time, and it's Johnny Morton. Finally hasn't caught a pass, but he's able to take the handoff and gain 5, maybe 6 yards before Rod Coleman can track him.
Well, take a look at this as Will Shields, number 68, fakes blocking inside, then comes out on Romanowski and takes him completely out of the play, allowing Morton to get back up inside. Boy, that was a nifty piece of work by the 7-time Pro Bowler, faking like he's going to block down on the nose tackle, doing a reverse pivot and coming out, get out front and make a block.
2nd and goal. Holmes. And nose for the goal line, but it's snuffed out by that Oakland defense as we tick it toward the 2-minute timeout.
And I'm sure Dick Vermeil right now is talking to Al Saunders. What do we have to do to get into the end zone? Because a field goal here still leaves them vulnerable. An Oakland touchdown would win the game 17-16. So right now DV is going, I have a field goal here. I don't want it. I want in the end zone.
Able to use about 25 seconds here, not run the play, and the 2-minute timeout clicks up. It's 13-10 KC. As expected, tight to the finish. Kansas City 3rd and goal at the 4-yard line, leading by 3. 2 minutes left for the Raiders. They have 1 timeout when they do get the ball. Trying to deny the touchdown and stay within a touchdown themselves. A victory are the Raiders. Oh, it looked like the Raiders confused defensively. Green. Touchdown, Tony Richardson. His first touchdown catch of the season, the veteran from Auburn, the fullback wide open.
And you called it with the indecision on the Raiders defense. Bill Romanowski went in motion across the defensive backfield trying to get over to that side of the field and then lost track of Tony Richardson, who was all alone in the end zone.
4-yard touchdown pass as Morton Anderson adds the extra point. So the fumble by Jerry Rice leads to a score by Richardson, and the Chiefs celebrate a 10-point lead.
Let me show you what I was talking about right there as we look at this from above. This decisive touchdown. Here's Romo here, who's going to come over, and as Richardson releases, he's going to come up and sit in the end zone all by himself. Now watch Romanowski here. He's going to come up in space. He's in the middle of nowhere, and then at the last minute, I think, realizes that Richardson was his guy. And too late, Romo gets back in on Richardson and afterwards is really upset. Now, I can't say 100% that that's Romo's guy, but Romo afterwards was just jumping around going, boy, oh boy, how did that happen?
Yeah, you could see as the Chiefs changed their formation,
yes,
they caught the Raiders blindside, and they didn't all get in the right spot.
And Tony Richardson, Dick, was sitting in the end zone wide open for a good 3 or 4 seconds. So that is a mistake by someone in the Raiders secondary with their coverage.
And you have to wonder, without Charles Woodson and Phil Buchanan and all those injuries in the secondary, whether or not, you know, just the inexperience as a team back there didn't quite make the coverage complete. Tony Bryant injured on that last play. Marcus Knight and Elvis Whitted for the Raiders try to pull a miracle for Oakland. They need to score 10 points in less than 2 minutes. Whitted wrapped up at the 21-yard line by Jason Belser. Belser's lost his defensive starting job to Shenard Hartz, but comes through on special teams. Here are the AFC Western standings, the most contentious of the divisions in the NFL. The Chargers, enjoying a bye week, have a 6-1 start this year. Denver on their heels. They'll play New England. That game coming up on CBS. The Raiders trying to stop a 2-game losing streak. This would make it 3 in a row if they don't pull it out. And Kansas City would feel mighty good about 4-4 at a bye week, with 2 of those losses coming in overtime by field goals. Gannon goes to work. Porter. First down. Gain of 11.
And as long as it's within the field of play, the Chiefs are happy, as the Raiders only have one timeout. Anything that doesn't let a guy get out of bounds is good. As long as you don't let him go all the way to the end zone. Relatively speaking, just keep him in the middle.
Triple left. Gannon looks deeper this time, then throws short to Rice, who will skip quickly out of bounds. A short gain. CBS on Sunday nights means 60 minutes, and a terrific program as always tonight. Then Becker and Bram and Alice, and the movie, Sunday night movie, Dandy, Double Jeopardy. If you want something that has some thrills and chills, that'll be very entertaining for you late tonight. Not entertaining the developments here today for the Raiders, of scoring only 10 points against the most porous defense in the league. Gannon underneath again. Garner. And he stays in the field of play to the 46, so the clock runs to 1:12, 1:11. Final timeout. It looked like he gave the signal, then 3 more seconds went off the clock.
But he did call for the timeout.
And that's the last one, as you can see, for the Raiders today. Well, as always, whether the weather is ideal or not, it's fun to watch a game at Arrowhead Stadium, and these two rivals always provide something very interesting.
They always do, and we just saw we saw a lot of good football today, and especially the first thing that has to come to my mind has been the performance of Kansas City's defense.
It's been shocking.
When you got that 32 hung on you, which is last in the NFL, which is where they are, both in points allowed and yardage, that is a tough lug to have to haul around all the time. And Greg Robinson's unit and Dick Vermeil's defensive squad, they've got to be very proud of this effort today that they turned in against the NFL's #2 offensive team in the Raiders.
Yeah, the press here in Kansas City have been on Greg Robinson, and Dick Vermeil in his press conferences early in the week really stood very firmly in support of his defensive coordinator. I mean, it's easy to knock the man in charge. Sometimes he just doesn't have the horses. Right. And they're going, and the thing about Kansas City and why people are excited here with this offense, with their draft picks next year and free agency, they're going to build a little stronger defense. Doesn't have to be too much stronger. Well, they're going to be a force.
Well, and you got to look at the other side too. You've got to say that the Raiders defense plays, they've played a pretty good football game too. This Kansas City offensive team has been averaging 32+ a game, and they've been held to 20. So the Raiders defense really shouldn't hang their head as having played a bad football game, especially considering how banged up they are in their secondary.
With 1:11 to go, Gannon again has to throw to the middle of the field, and Tim Brown with another catch. And tackled from behind by Richie Owens. So Gannon, with that throw, now is over the 300-yard mark today. So that makes 6 straight games. That ties the NFL record, consecutive 300-yard passing games for Gannon. But not something that he's going to celebrate based on the score.
Well, you're right. As 6 consecutive, that ties him with Young, his effort in '98 and Warner's in 2000. But yes, if the last 3 of them end up being losses, as in many instances a 300-yard passing day is a loss, that's not going to mean much to Rich Gannon.
From the Kansas City 38, he winds up, has to throw underneath again with all that deep coverage, and Garner is inside the 25, and the clock continues to eat away at any miracle Raider hopes. It's down to 37 seconds.
Just because he's moving his arm like that doesn't mean he's going to spike it. He did, but we've seen it before. Dan Marino and other people have done it where they wave that arm like they're going to spike it, and then they throw one to the end zone.
And coming up, the Broncos and the Patriots, and just as this was a critical game mid-season for both teams, that Denver-New England game, the Patriots off a bye week, they need a victory.
That is a biggie. New England on hard times here recently offensively. They've been turning the football over, and of course Denver's defense, one of the most opportunistic in the NFL.
They're the only team to beat San Diego. Gannon looks deeper, throws underneath the Porter, however. He's to the 10 and wrapped up at the 9-yard line with 23 seconds.
It's been a while since anybody said the only team to beat San Diego.
Just throw that in.
At the halfway mark of the season, no, that hasn't been said all that many times.
Good point. 13 seconds. Well, we're going to be out in San Diego, so be kind. We're going to be seeing the Chargers and the Jets next week.
I'm being very complimentary and pointing out that this is some start that Marty Schottenheimer has gotten the Chargers off to. Old, washed up Marty Schottenheimer, a retread. You know, what are you doing hiring a guy like that? Well, if you can coach, you can coach.
Well, the folks here in Kansas City will appreciate how many winning seasons he brought to this city. From inside the 10, first and goal, couple of plays left for Gannon. He throws underneath. It's complete to his tight end, Jolly, but that is in the field of play, and I don't think they can get another one off.
You got to throw it into the end zone.
One, and they celebrate a Kansas City win at Arrowhead.
And 4-4 heading into the bye. And what a huge win for Trent Green, Dick Vermeil, and this Kansas City. And they bring the Raiders back to 4-3, but they get back to 500 heading into their bye week. A monster win for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And 5 weeks from now, who knows how that's going to be, Topsy. Yeah. That's so competitive. The AFC West, let's go to Bonnie Bernstein.
Dick, the Chiefs get off the schneid against a bitter rival, a divisional opponent. How huge was this win, Trent?
Oh, this is really big for us. This gets us back to 500 and definitely keeps us in the thing. And we definitely couldn't have gone down to be 3-5. This is a big win for us.
You were telling us during the week the defensive players came up to you and said, man, we're sorry, we'll try to pick it up. Really did the job for you today, didn't they?
Defense did a great job. We had a couple opportunities in the red zone where I made some stupid mistakes, and you got to give credit to the defense. They had some key turnovers for us, gave us good field position, and it's great to get a big win.
You're one of the fortunate teams because you actually get a bye week in the middle of the season to where it's exactly supposed to be.
And it comes at a great time. The fact that we won today and gets us to 500, now we have a bye week to get ourselves re-energized for the final stretch.
Another big day for Priest Holmes, and I really think the big drive for him was in the third quarter when he had more than half of your yards.
Yeah, you can't say enough about Priest. The way he breaks tackles, his second effort, he continues to work his legs, and you got to give credit to that offensive line, but Priest is a special back.
All right, Trent Green, thanks for the time.
And thank you, Bonnie. Dick Vermeil swallowing a smile with a 4-4 season now at the midpoint of 2002. And just a footnote on Priest Holmes, as Trent Green alluded to him, 91 yards rushing and 93 more yards pass receiving for Holmes.
Well, it was just a spectacular day, and a good, clean, hard-fought game, and it was fun to watch, Dick. I really did. And I compliment the defensive team for both of these clubs in the way they played against the two most high-powered offenses in the NFL. They rose to the occasion.
Well, it's the way it should be. Great day and rainy and cold, and get your uniform dirty and play tough defense.
Well, again, as you mentioned, it's always a treat to come to Arrowhead. The Chiefs, going into the bye, they've got to be pumped. They've got to be pumped. Stay tuned.
We'll be going back to New York to bring you up to date on the early games and get you set for the second game of our CBS doubleheader. 20-10, Kansas City the winner over the Oakland Raiders. There's your second games coming up.
Michigan against Michigan.
There you go.
Denver, New England.
Quarterbacks, that is. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.